everyone! Today we invite 3 student teachers to teach us all about A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. This short lecture includes the play's summary, analysis, and reviews. The story all began during a midsummer in Athens.
Theseus, the Duke of Athens, and his bride-to-be Hippolyta were planning their upcoming wedding when Aegeus, an Athenian nobleman, stormed in with his daughter Hermia and 2 men named Lysander and Demetrius.
Demetrius had his sights on Hermia, but Hermia and Lysander were deeply in love with each other, and apparently the one Aegeus wanted Hermia to marry was Demetrius. According to Athenian law, Hermia was given 3 choices: marry Demetrius, nunnery, or death.
Lysander and Hermia were defiant and decided to meet up in the woods outside Athens' walls and elope. Hermia told her best friend Helena their plans. Helena, who was in love with Demetrius, ended up telling him the whole plan.
So the next night, Demetrius followed Lysander and Hermia into the woods, with Helena right behind him. Lysander and Hermia later got lost and fell asleep, while Demetrius was busy telling Helena that he doesn't love her.
Meanwhile, another party, a group of mechanicals, was practicing their play for Theseus's wedding.
A third party in the woods was the fairies. Oberon, the king of fairies, was fighting with Titania, the queen of fairies, over an Indian boy whom she had adopted. He was her page, but Oberon wanted him as his henchman.
So, Oberon sent his elf servant Puck to fetch a magical flower. Its nectar, when applied to a sleeping person's eyelids, makes them fall in love with the first person they see when they open their eyes.
While Puck was away, Oberon overheard Demetrius yelling at Helena to F off. Visiting Helena, Oberon told Puck to apply the nectar onto Demetrius, who he described as an Athenian man that Puck will recognize by the Athenian garb he hath on.
That's one of the vaguest descriptions ever, so of course Puck mistook Lysander for Demetrius.
Then Helena saw Lysander and woke him up, so Lysander fell in love with Helena and chased after her.
Puck, realizing his mistake, went to find Demetrius and applied the nectar to his eyes. Therefore, when Demetrius woke up and saw Helena, he also fell in love with her.
Now both men who previously loved Hermia were chasing after Helena. Of course, Helena thought they were mocking her and was very angry at both men.
Later on, when Hermia woke up and found the trio, a huge argument between Hermia and Helena followed. Lysander and Demetrius were also about to engage in a fierce battle for Helena until Puck confused their sense of direction so much that the 4 of them slept.
And meanwhile, Oberon applied the nectar to Titania's eyes. When Titania woke up, she saw and fell in love with Bottom, one of the mechanicals preparing for the play for Theseus' wedding. But what was worse for her is that Puck had given Bottom the head of an ass.
The thing is, Bottom believes that it makes total sense that someone as beautiful and magical as Titania could fall deeply in love with him. Titania was so overjoyed with her newfound love that she gave the Indian boy to Oberon. While Titania and Bottom were sleeping, Oberon removed their spells, and his marriage was finally intact.
The plot then goes back to Puck and the lovers. The lovers fell asleep and Puck removed the spell on Lysander. When awakened, Lysander loved Hermia again, and Helena finally accepted Demetrius' love.
The 2 couples told Theseus and Hippolyta of the good news, and the 3 couples were happily married in a wedding featuring Bottom and the Mechanicals' play.
The end!
Although A Midsummer Night's Dream is a comedy, it didn't start out funny. In the beginning, Hermia was told she had to die or live as a nun if she didn't marry Demetrius. Therefore, the tone was dark and bleak. But this darkness quickly faded away when Shakespeare started to play Cupid and played around with the difficulties of love in a lighthearted and silly manner.
Case in point, he forced them into a heedless and reckless wild goose chase in the woods by making them fall in and out of love at the drop of some magic love juice. As you can see, Shakespeare made fun of how unpredictable and foolish we all can be when it comes to romance. The tone of the play in general is therefore so lighthearted that the audience knows that there has to be a happy ending.
The mood, which is reflected in the author's tone, is lighthearted and dreamy in a surreal, magical, and seemingly timeless environment. It helps to establish the theme of dreams. For example, many characters like Bottom and the lovers attempted to explain their bizarre experiences in the end, but ended up thinking that it was just a dream because of all the sleeping.
Also, the fairies in the magical forest create a sense of dreaming in the play itself. This is also why, at the end of the performance, Puck asked the audience to remember the play as though it were a dream if they didn't enjoy it.
Another important theme in the play is love's difficulty. It is often shown through the unbalanced love. Hermia loves Lysander, and Lysander loves Hermia. Helena loves Demetrius, but Demetrius loves Hermia. The love square.
And a girl who has one too many suitors, and the other with unrequited love.
Titania and Bottom are also unbalanced. Think about it, a beautiful fairy queen with an ass-headed fool.
How about the fact that Oberon wanted the Indian boy more than he loved his wife?
Yes, you're right. In order to find true love, there has to be a balance between the two. For example, when Demetrius finally loved Helena, the balance between the four lovers was finally installed. Therefore, this play has a traditional ending, the
Happily ever after!
You know, I think the setting really helped in creating this play. The mystical, magic forest really helped promote the dream state everyone was in.
Yes, I agree. The town of Athens seems like the reality while the forest is the dream.
The forest is also a great place for some major plot points, like Puck applying the nectar onto Lysander instead of Demetrius.
And Puck giving Bottom the head of an ass.
And Titania falling in love with the donkey.
The fantastic and surreal aura of the forest brings out the humor of the play, since everybody is so confused and tangled up together. The place is great for mistakes like Puck's to happen.
How about the significance of the characters and the plot points?
Oh, Puck is definitely one of the most important characters of the play. He's just so mischievous and funny. If he didn't transform Bottom's head into that of an ass or smear the love potion on Lysander's eyelids instead of Demetrius's, the fun of the play would be taken away.
Also, it is because of him that the magical and hilarious atmosphere is brought out in the play.
Bottom is also important as a comedic effect. He is overconfident, as you can see when he shows interest in playing every part in his play. But in fact, he is a terrible actor and didn't even know how to speak with proper grammar and word usage.
He didn't question why someone like Titania would ever pay attention to him. Furthermore, he didn't even notice that his head had turned into that of an ass.
Helena is also important in that she emphasizes the difficulty of love. She tried to win Demetrius' love by telling him about Lysander and Hermia's elopement. Also, she is extremely self-conscious about her appearance and really unsure of herself. You can see that as she believed that Lysander and Demetrius were mocking her when they declared their love for her.
我其实很惊讶 Twilight 没有用这个剧集，只是我觉得 Shakespeare 在说真正的爱情是假的。你看 Demetrius 爱上 Helena 因为 Puck 用了魔术，你不记得他其实以前很恨 Helena 吗？不过因为什么花以后 Demetrius 突然这么爱 Helena， 真的有点奇怪。
古雅典人怎么这么爱睡觉？真好笑！像是当 Lysander and Demetrius 这样为 Helena 打架的时候，我那时很兴奋，觉得终于要有点刺激的战斗了。没想到下一秒他们就去睡了，真是的。
Puck 是这里的关键人物，他常是事情的源头，也是唯一直接对观众说话的人。他淘气又机智，但也心地善良，有时会沉思。也许莎士比亚将他自己融入了 Puck 这个角色之中。他透过 Puck 请观众接受他这部戏剧，同时也请大家思考有关梦的种种现象。
真有趣。
我建议不相信爱的人去读，他们会怎么想呢？
我建议爱吸血鬼的人去念这本书，这就是他们的类型啊！你看这本书有很多亮晶晶的人。Now that I know about this book, I feel like doing something spectacular, like throwing magic flowers at the audience.
Whoa, look at how much time passed.
Like a dream.
I guess it's time to go.
Thanks for watching. Bye. Wait, so no on the magic flower?